Damn, there's hella people live. Grand Rising, how y'all feeling? Yo, mind growl, chill. How y'all feeling this morning? How y'all feeling? Hey, good morning, friend. Good morning, good morning. Yesterday was a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Interesting day, to say the least. Um, I think sometimes when we, uh, when we take time out to uh, listen to those that love us and care about us, sometimes we'll gain better perspective. And when we make decisions based solely on emotion and emotion alone, sometimes we can slight ourselves. Um, so I want to first and foremost say, shout out to good friendship. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to good, consistent friendship, because you have people who, Grand Rising, how y'all doing? You have people whom they'll act as if they got your back, you know what I'm saying? But really it's more self-serving than it is people serving. And one thing I've learned over the past week or less than that is that the way in which I grew up, um, I grew up that way for a reason, right? I grew up that way for a reason, and one of the best reflections you can make is a self-reflection. And sometimes we'll be moving 90 miles a minute and not realize that we need to slow down. What's up, Jay? Popped in to speak. Good morning. All right. Sometimes we'll be moving 90 miles a minute and not realize we need to slow down, right? And then other times we'll be moving 90 miles a minute and we need to speed up, right? My name's Super Long. Greetings, King. What's good with you? Keep your head held high. Everything happens for a reason to which we won't understand. And I'm glad you said that. What up, Lloyd? You know, my grandmother and I, I talk about my grandmother so much, you know what I'm saying? She damn near y'all grandma too. You know what I'm saying? Giving y'all the nuggets of wisdom that she gave me growing up. She would often tell me that in this life, you have to understand that there are going to be some things that you don't understand. And you have to be okay with that. And I'm like, Grandma, nah, I'm not, nah, that's not, no. I said, because if I don't understand it, I have to seek to understand it. She said, again, in this life, you have to understand that there are going to be some things you don't understand, and that's okay. And internalizing that sentiment has allowed me to move more freely through this thing we call life, right? It has allowed me to move more strategically through this thing we call life. And sometimes it's frustrating. One of the things that I take pride in as it relates to my platform is showing you all the real me, right? And I say that with like quotation marks because oftentimes people be capping for clout, capping for cash. You know what I'm saying? I have no character to play. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like something my granny would say. All facts. Yeah, I have no character to play. Like when I hop on this app, I give y'all me, 10 toes down. I give y'all me. So if you watch my videos and you gain a certain opinion about me, more than likely, if you meet me in person, your feeling's gonna be the exact same, because I'm the same person in real life that I am on the internet. And I think, or I feel rather, that social media has allowed people to become too comfortable because many folk ain't been punched in their mouth before. Many folk ain't really had somebody press them in real life. You know what I'm saying? Oh, six. Hey, what up, Fred? So in that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Fred always get a follow. You know what I'm saying? So in that, what I learned is that sometimes I have to disengage with certain people because, again, I don't profess myself to be some type of tough guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 6 foot 250. That's not I don't say that to intimidate. I say that to prove a point. I'm not no small dude. You know what I'm saying? So you got people who will poke their whole chest out. I'll do X, Y, and Z. Okay, that sounds cool, but it ain't gonna happen the way you think it is. And there are some things that you have to realize that you can't just say on the internet and think that ain't nothing gonna happen in real life. You know what I'm saying? I say all that to say there was an individual, and this right here goes to show you just how diabolical people can be, right? There was an individual whom I was supposed to speak at my college, right? And they, absolutely, I'm 6'2", 300. You sound good, shorty, but I'm going to place these foo-fops on you. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get to that. So, some random dude decides to put a comment on my Facebook. And he's like, it'd be a shame if somebody pulled up to Voorhees and, you know, and did to you what you be doing to people on the internet because you want to act like a tough guy. I said, okay. So I made a video and I said, y'all want to hide behind these troll accounts? And I'm paraphrasing at this point, but this was essentially my sentiment. I said, y'all want to hide behind these troll accounts thinking that you just finna run up on me in public and it's going to end well for you. I said, do me a favor. You run up on me in public and thinking you finna attack me and somebody else is going to be raising your kids. That's it. They decided to take that, right? They decided to take that and send it to my college, and they decided to go with a different speaker. And I'm okay with that. Hold on. What buddy just say? But you come off extremely arrogant in most of your videos, and I'm not talking about your clapback. But you know what that is, Militant Prince? That's a personal feeling. That's a personal feeling, because the reality is this: your perception of me has absolutely nothing to do with me, right? The only thing I'm responsible for, and let me be very clear, I don't take that disrespectfully, and I'm gonna tell you why. That lets me know that a lot of y'all are some weak ass bitches. Because you see a black man that's intelligent, that's confident, that doesn't mind speaking his truth, and is not going to compromise or allow this racist white society to tone police me. So if I'm going to yell, damn it, I'm going to yell. If I'm going to speak softly, then damn it, I'm going to speak softly. Fuck it. If I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry. It is what it is. You see, I know myself. And a lot of these goofies walking around here, they don't know themselves. You're right. It is my personal feeling, and it wasn't meant to be disrespectful. I got you. That's why I said I no longer take that sentiment disrespectfully, because again, I know myself. So you have people, and I'm glad you said that, because I just recently got sponsored by this brand, right? And it's called Blue Cavels. And this shirt right here, the brand, this is it's called their Blackfidence tees, right? You know, like little plug. And I'll be putting a video up later. I wrote a poem called Blackfidence. And that's really and truly what I've chalked it up to. It's my Blackfidence. Because my grandmother taught me not to compromise who I am for the sake of comfort for others, right? So in this regard, what people don't realize is that when they see an intelligent, educated, you know what I'm saying, big difference, wise black man that is unapologetic about his blackness, immediately, and this is due to programming, which is why I told you I didn't take what you said disrespectfully. It's due to programming, because society wants you to view me as arrogant. Society wants you to view me as the loud, angry black man, because they don't want me to know myself. They want me to be weak. They want me to be docile, and I refuse. So in this, what do? They allow people that look like you to tell you, hey, bro, pipe down, bro. Pipe down. And I'm like, hell nah. Every time you tell me to pipe down, I'm turning up. When I walk into, again, I call it the unwavering faith. It's what my grandmother gave us as children. The unwavering faith. I don't give a damn what texture my hair is. I tell my daughter this all the time. I say, Booty, that's her nickname. I call her Booty. I said, Booty, come here. She might have just got her hair done, or, you know, my wife, you know, she took her hair out. She got her little fro. I said, you like your hair? She said, I love my hair, Daddy. I said, why you love your hair? Because it's pretty. I said, all right, cool. I said, and I tell her, and I reaffirm that, your hair is beautiful regardless of what texture it is. Because systematically, we've been taught. I want you to look up this speech called The Ballad or the Bullet by Malcolm X. And he asks a question. Who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate the skin you're in? Who taught you that defending and protecting black women is somehow a problem? Oh yeah, let's talk about it. Because it's all layered. It's all layered. They want to, oh, Malcolm this, Martin that. Why we can't take bits and pieces? Why we can't take the Garveys? Why we can't take the Mandelas? Regardless of how you feel about them, right? So when I speak up for black women, or I advocate for black women, right? Well, if I say simply, black women are beautiful. Well, all women are beautiful. No. Hey, goofy. I was talking about black women. And if you notice, that conversation only comes up when you're talking about black women. Why? Because it's programming. And it's the same with us with our confidence. Let's take it back to the plantation, right? Strong, intelligent black men, outspoken black men. What did they try to do? Beat them into submission, right? Keep the body, take the mind. Willie Lynch. Keep the body, take the mind, right? We don't want you to read. We don't want you to write. Why? Because now I can't control you. He who controls your paycheck controls your life, which is why I'm actively working so I can sign my own paychecks, right? And someone might be thinking right now, oh, I speak you all over the place. I'm not, because I promise you it's all layered. It's all layered. Hey, brother, it's cool. I know you didn't mean it as an insult. It's programming, and we have to deprogram ourselves. Hey, Millicent Prince, I appreciate the follow. You know what I'm saying? It's programming, and we have to deprogram ourselves. I even catch myself. Again, I tell y'all, I am the same person in real life that I am on the internet. I am constantly making self-reflections. I am constantly reevaluating. Damn, did I really mess up in that regard? Damn, am I really thinking about it this way? When I come across another brother that mirrors my exact sentiment, instead of looking at him as competition, right? I'm looking at how best can I help that brother. I'll give you a perfect example. I came across a brother. He co-founded this organization called Blamazon, right? I think he had maybe like, I don't know, 8 or 9K. And I was like, yo, that's a dope ass concept. I like that. Given the size of my platform, right? Most dudes, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur. I wrote a book. Again, this is not it's a light flex. And I'm proud of it. I wrote a book, right? I'm an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, right? Multiple entrepreneur endeavors, spoken word recording artist, right? And I assist others in being successful. That is my pride and joy. I assist others in putting them into positions to whereby they can win, right? Yeah, light flex. And I'm okay with that. And I'm educated, right? I don't feel bad about that. So I said, you know what? With my platform, my TikTok, my YouTube, I can put this brother in front of a larger audience. Larger audience of who? Us. Us. You want to know why? Because again, we've been taught to hate ourselves. We've been taught to talk down on our community. We've been taught to view one another as competition. We've been taught to see one another and turn our face up. Don't speak to me. What? No. Brother, how can I help you? Sister, how can I help you? And if you don't want my help, that's cool. That's cool. But you know what I'm going to continue to do? Uplift my community. You know what I'm going to continue to do? Be a mentor. You know what I'm going to continue to do? Allow my work to speak for itself. And every now and again, I might flex a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But even with that, let's talk about that. Let's talk about being proud of who you are and proud of your accomplishments, right? I'm only 29 years old. I've won 2 national competitions, speaking competition. Well, one of them I was first runner-up. National competitions. Certified, Harvard Business School online. Graduated with honors with my bachelor's degree. Working on my master's degree now. You know what I'm saying? High honors in the military. Warfare devices. You know what I'm saying? Top evaluations. I'm proud of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are people that will make you feel like, hey, yo, pipe down. Who are you to be proud of yourself? Who are you to take pride in the fact that you have 3 beautiful children and a wife that's fine as hell? You know what I'm saying? Who are you to feel that way? And I say, who am I not to be? Right? Who am I not to be? I want to give y'all a resource that I love giving to individuals when they start to take on that sentiment and or get opposition from people, right? There's a poem entitled Our Deepest Fear by Mariam Williamson. And my favorite part about that poem is your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others feel comfortable around you, right? So I don't have to diminish who I am, right? And dim my light in order for you to feel comfortable to shine. Because you know what? When we shine, we unconsciously give others the right to do the same. Oh, what's up, Lex? What you just say? How can we help T. Nathan out? Right now, pray for him. There are individuals that are putting money on his books. You can contact the Only Select Lloyd for that process. There's a messaging system as well if you would like to pay for it, whereby you can speak to him directly if in fact he chooses to respond. He does have a tablet that he's able to use for at least an hour a day. Also, his Cash App and Venmo, his friend, oh, thank you for the gift, Lex. His friend, goodness gracious, my mind is all over the place right now. Give me a second. Lloyd, help me out. Lloyd, help me out. Goodness gracious. Jessica, Ashley, Jordan, there we go. Goodness gracious, I tell you, my mind all over the place. Jordan has Bella. So Jordan is taking care of Bella right now, getting her the food that she needs and everything like that. So if you would like to assist Jordan in helping take care of Bella, then you can hit, his Cash App and Venmo and all that. But in terms of getting him out, so to speak, there's nothing we can do right now. He's being held in Arkansas with no bond, waiting extradition to Mississippi. If Mississippi don't come pick him up, then I don't know. I don't know what the outcome's going to be from there. We're just going to have to wait and see. He has not yet been formally charged with anything, and that's the best I know. Actually, Lex, hit my inbox. We can go a little bit more in depth because I don't, you know what I mean? Everything don't need to be public, you know what I mean? So if there's anything other than what I just told you, hit my inbox. I got you. And actually, I'll shoot you my number. But yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. All right, cool. One thing that I've come to find in these past couple days, we talking about the black fence, right? Being comfortable, and confident, loyalty amongst our community, loyalty amongst brothers, loyalty amongst sisters, and the depth of accountability that people feel as though you should give to one another, right? Oftentimes people feel as though that when your brother or when your sister mess up, that you're just supposed to throw them away. Hold them accountable and then throw them away. When the reality is that many of them don't know what true loyalty looks like, right? Are we talking about black businesses? Partially. Yeah, we going to get back into black businesses, yeah. They don't know what true loyalty looks like. They don't know what it's like to have someone stand 10 toes down for them and not, as soon as they get into a negative altercation with one another, they start flipping like pancakes. Right? Hey, what up, Britt? They don't know what it's like to have someone in their corner that regardless, thank you, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Hold people accountable, but don't abandon them. Loyalty is just a tattoo nowadays. Facts. They were disrespectful for doing what they did. I'm sorry, karma is real and going to bite them. Hey, listen, you got to eat that. You got to eat that. And my thing is, we got to be more comfortable. Let's talk about this. We got to be more comfortable, right? More careful with whom we give titles to. Some of us are so willing because of social acceptance, because of social anxiety, because of the sheer desire to have people around you to just freely give that title of friend away. I don't. If I call you friend, my level of expectation from you has now rose. Now I'm not looking at you like everyone else looks at you. I'm seeing the real you. Y'all know I speak 1906. Y'all see little sprinkles of Anthony. And I tell y'all that because yes, I do show y'all me, but there's only so much that you can get from me on a live stream. There's only so much that you can get from me in a 60-second video or a 3-minute video. But those like Brittany that can pick up that phone, Lloyd, Eddie Brock, T. Nathan, Conscious, Who else? Charmy, that can pick up that phone and call me, they get Anthony. They can talk to Anthony, right? And sometimes I think what happens is we take, and this is why I tell y'all, don't just blindly follow me. Giannis, y'all don't just blindly follow me. Because the reality is this, I'm going to post something that you're not going to like. Because it's going to force you to think about something that you don't feel comfortable thinking about. I don't care whether or not you all like me. Let's be clear about that. But I don't say that in a disrespectful manner. I say that to say this. I care that you respect me. That's what I care about. All of us, we have this incessant desire as humans to be liked, which is cool. If y'all like me, I'm 100% okay with that. But that's not what I'm seeking. I want you to respect me for this, what I possess up here. Not because I make you feel good with my videos. Not because you can diminish parts of yourself and allow me to think for you. I don't want to think for you. I want you to think for yourself. I want to challenge you to go beyond what you've been taught. I want to challenge you to challenge your childhood trauma. I want to challenge you to challenge everything you've ever been taught in your life. Because there's this quote, and I want you to write this down. If you have something to write this down, I want you to write this down. If you want to screen record, I want you to screen record this right now. I'm going to give you a minute. Scroll up, scroll down, hit that screen record button, come back to the live. If you have something to write with, I want you to write this down. We got 170 people in here. I want to see at least 20 readies, and then I'll tell you the quote. Because I want you to keep this quote with you, and I want you to internalize this quote. Can't give us the right answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Our problem is not learning. Our problem is unlearning and relearning the truth. I'm going to state that again. Our problem is not learning. It's unlearning and relearning the truth. And I want you to take it, I want you to internalize that. Every day I wake up, I tell myself these affirmations. I can succeed. I will survive. I will not be a statistic. I can succeed. I will survive. I will not be a statistic. I literally tell myself this every day. And the final thing, the final affirmation is greatness is not an option. Greatness is an expectation. I'm going to state those again. Number one, our problem is not learning. It's unlearning and relearning the truth. I can succeed. I will survive. I will not be a statistic. Greatness is not an option. Greatness is an expectation. And when you take and internalize these affirmations, right, you'll start to live your life differently. Hey, my African queen in the building, what's good? When you take and internalize, hey, my bro Conscious in the building, what's good? When you take and internalize these affirmations, right, you start to live your life differently. You start to move differently, right? And people start to see you differently. Now watch this, don't miss this. Hey, Charmy, I just shouted you out. You start to move differently, right? And people are going to look at you differently, right? And it's okay. That's okay. What you don't need to do is diminish, devalue, and degrade yourself for the sake of comfort for other people. And too many of us have lived our entire lives making it about the comfort of others. You know, my grandma used to tell me, if you can't take the heat, step out the kitchen, right? She said, some of you think on such a surface level, right? She said, if you can't take the heat, step in the kitchen. She said, why did I allow you in my home in the first place? Because if you understand that stepping in my home is going to make you uncomfortable, it is to make you uncomfortable to think. It is to make you uncomfortable to challenge your thought process. It is to make you uncomfortable so that you can change the trajectory of your life and or improve your life. Why? Because when you come around me, I may very well just brainwash you with greatness. I said, damn! Whoa! What? And that is why the majority of my life, people would say, oh, you think you so smart. You use all those big words. You think you so intelligent. And I used to dumb myself down. I remember watching this movie, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And it is so indicative of literally the way in which I lived my life. They were in the department store, right? And the guy was using all of these words. He was talking to Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart said, hold on. Using too many big words. And I don't know what you're saying. So therefore, I'm going to take it as disrespect. Don't be disrespecting me. That's literally my life experience. Because of my advanced levels of intelligence that I don't feel bad about, right? I skipped the first and second grade. I was in a gifted and talented program all the way up until I was in high school. Still in it. I got 1B my senior year in high school. And if I ever see Miss Johnson, we're going to have an immediate disagreement. Because it was her way of humbling me. Oh, you think you so smart. You've been getting straight A's your entire life. You don't know what a B feels like. But you know what? It was a gift and a curse. And I'm going to tell you why. On one hand, right, it fired me up. It fired me up. I got a full 4-year academic scholarship. It fired me up. On the other hand, it showed me a level of disappointment that I had never felt in my life. And according to my life experiences, I didn't know I needed to feel it in order to know what it felt like, right? So sometimes, you know, my grandma would put it this way. What the devil meant for harm, God meant it for good. Now, y'all know I'm not very religious, but I am very spiritual. I grew up Baptist Christian. So what the devil meant for harm, God meant it for good, right? So in this, while she thought she was breaking me down, right? You send me off with a full 4-year academic scholarship, the same school that my guidance counselor told me that I need to go to a community college because I wouldn't last at a 4-year institution. I got a full 4-year academic scholarship, graduated first in my class, light flex, and graduated with honors. Joined one of the greatest fraternities known to man and won 2 national oratorical competitions. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. And then you know what I do? Every time I go back to Philly, I volunteer to go speak at that school. And I tell that story. And I look Miss Johnson in her broke, busted, and disgusted face and say, I remember an educator tried to humble me. I look at Miss Johnson, and I keep saying Miss Johnson for sake of anonymity because I don't want to send no hate they way. Because both Miss Johnsons still work at that school. You know what I'm saying? Broke, busted, and disgusted. I remember a guidance counselor told me that I wouldn't survive at a 4-year institution. And I went on a full 4-year academic scholarship and graduated with honors. And then went on to get my certificate from Harvard Business School online in Ivy League. And now I'm working on my master's degree. Don't play with me. Don't allow anyone to chart your course for you. I do not think that it was a coincidence that I joined the Navy. And I'm going to tell you why. We have this thing called a helm, right? When you're driving a ship, the wheel is called the helm, right? I am qualified master helmsman. You know, again, light flex. On my ship of over 2,500 people, there was only 4 of us qualified master helm. Crow should know. And it is a very prestigious title, and I'm going to tell you why. It's so indicative of life. That's why I tell you I don't believe in coincidences. When we're in dangerous situations, if the ship loses power, if we need to anchor out, if we need to travel through a dangerous strait, right? Or a dangerous geographical location, they send in the master helmsman. The master helmsman, watch this, don't miss this. The master helmsman, when they come on what's called the bridge to drive the ship, the master helmsman, because they're qualified up to the captain, right? Because helmsmen get qualified in their department, right? With the OOD, that's the officer of the deck, which is essentially an officer that operates on the ship. But the master helmsman is qualified by the captain. You see, when helmsmen, watch this, don't miss this. When helmsmen, right, when they come on the bridge, they got to ask for permission to assume the helm. Woo! But master helmsmen, they come on the bridge and they say, I assume the duties and responsibility of master helmsman. And you don't have to ask for permission. In our life, we are too comfortable asking for permission for what we want to do in our lives. You are the master helmsman of your life. Stop asking for permission to be excellent. Stop asking for permission to be intelligent. Stop asking for permission to start that business. Stop asking for permission to start that weight loss. Stop asking for permission in your relationship. Well, definitely ask for consent, but don't ask for permission and or validation from others for your relationship. Let's be clear about that. Consent is sexy, by the way. Stop asking for permission, right, from other people. Actually, I'm going to give it to you better. Stop taking constructive criticism from those whom have constructed absolutely nothing. Let's talk about it. Stop taking constructive criticism from those of whom have constructed absolutely nothing. Because they have nothing more than stank breath and an abundance of audacity. You see, many of us go through this thing we call life. I'm getting hot. Let's get it. We go through this thing we call life thinking that we can just aimlessly, I'm posting this to my YouTube, this is too powerful. We think that we can just walk aimlessly through life and that our dreams and our goals are just going to be dropped on our front step. You see, the Bible says, and I told you I got to revert back to the Bible because that's how I was raised. The Bible says faith without works is dead. You can have all of the faith in the world, but if you're not putting the work in, honey, you're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. You can't get rid of me because I'm going to be successful. I remember when I told my wife that I wanted to marry her, right? This the black evidence, right? When I told my wife that I wanted to marry her, the day before we got married, right? I told her, listen to the black evidence. I said, honey, I want you to know something. At this point in time, we had known each other for a little over 7 years. I said, I'm going to be a multimillionaire. God has already shown me standing on stages in front of hundreds of thousands of people, giving speeches, giving seminars, and everything like that. God has shown me, speaking into existence, God has shown me traveling in my private jet. God has shown me sitting with my taco meat hanging out on my yacht and then going down to the well of my yacht and driving my jet ski. God has shown me the mansion that we finna live in. God showed me all of this. I'm a visionary. He showed me all of this. And I said, if that's not the life you want to live, don't marry me. Because the way in which I grind, see, we got to normalize our black children not growing up in poverty. We got to normalize our black children understanding that excellence is okay, right? But then also simultaneously assisting them in understanding that not everyone is going to grow up that way. My children, my life changed forever when I was told that there's a difference between our young black babies that are reared on love and reared on survival. We move differently. I was raised on survival. I spent the first 5 years of my life in foster care. I talked about this the other day. That experience taught me that people are not always who they make themselves out to be. And we need to be very careful with the expectations that we put off on people, right? Because we don't know, come hell or high water, if they're going to be there the next day. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. That's why I tell people, here's another affirmation. You are not my competition. The only person I'm in competition with is the person I was yesterday. And I'm trying to whoop his ass. I'm trying to be better. Hey, yo, get them likes up so I can cuss more. It protects the live for whatever reason. We had like over 200,000 likes the other day, and I was cussing up a storm because I don't believe in filtering myself, right? So we get them likes up. Apparently it protects the live. I don't know. Double tap that screen. Cuss words might slip out. I'm going to try my best not to use them, but they might slip out. I realized that I am not what society deems as the palpable black man. I am not the comfortable black man. So you're never going to have that feeling of, oh, I can do certain fuck shit in his presence and it's going to be cool. I can disrespect that woman in his presence and he ain't going to say nothing. That's my homeboy. No, I'm going to punch you in your chest. I'm going to pull you to the side and I'm going to be like, hey, bro, what is you doing? Hey, sis, what are you doing? I'm not going to put my hands on you, right? And then I'm also going to simultaneously get some sisters to come talk to you. You see, we got too comfortable seeing one another as competition and that we can't check each other, right, without violence being involved. Now, I don't always have to bust him in his chest. I don't always have to do that. But sometimes it's necessary. And he understands that it's not from a place of malice. It's from a place of love. Hey, bro, don't you ever do that. Because then what you do is you continue this tumultuous cycle that plagues our community. When I'm talking to black men, I'm talking to black men. When I'm talking about black women or to black women, I'm talking to black women. And it's not to say that I'm demeaning you, diminishing you, and degrading you, but there's a time and place. And many of us, including myself, are still learning, right, how best to do that outside of the presence of others. Because everybody don't need to be a part of our conversations. Now let's speak generally. As a brother, as a sister, as a person to person, because everyone doesn't, identify, intersectionality. I want to be, sensitive to that. We have to understand that we have to hold one another accountable, right? And it doesn't always have to happen publicly. And we've got too comfortable publicly disrespecting one another. When you just want to, hey, bro, I think it's a different way that you can do that. Hey, sis, as an older brother, you know what I'm saying? As an older elder, right? Now, I don't consider myself an elder. I'm only 29. So I consider myself an older brother. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a cousin, if we the same age. I want to give you some game. Let me give you some game. And sis, it's not for me to be critical of you. It's not for me to be diminishing, degrading, devaluing, none of that. It's because I love you, right? It's because I want to, and shout out to my gifters too. Shout out to Charmy. Shout out to Pitmaster. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the gifts. I appreciate it. It's not to have my back in public and check me in private. There we go. However, sometimes that public discourse is necessary. Sometimes it is. Accountability is something people really have a hard time grasping. Facts. Some people exploit others' issues for clout. They don't care about anyone else. Facts. Now let me talk about that real quick. That goes into impact versus intent, right? So while you may intend to do something a certain way, the impact, and this is something that I had to learn as a content creator, because having 1.3 million supporters, because I don't call y'all my followers, I call y'all my supporters because it allows me, number one, to remain humble, right? And not allow this platform to go to my head, because it could very well do so. And I like to believe that you all are all leaders that just so happen to follow me on a social media platform. But let's get back. Sometimes what you intend to do and the energy that you intend to put out into the atmosphere is not the impact that it ultimately ends up having. And we got to be self-reflective enough to be able to identify, right, and understand that. And if in fact necessary, or we deem it necessary, we have to correct said behavior. If in fact we need to apologize, then we need to do so. And I'm still learning that myself. I grew up thinking that let me retract that. I was very arrogant growing up. And the difference, and for those of you that are like, I speak, Anthony, what's the difference between confidence and arrogance? What's the difference? The difference is arrogance says that I'm better than you and I'm going to treat you like shit because I feel like I'm better than you. Confidence says that I can be confident in who I am and my accomplishments and my achievements, and I don't make you feel bad as a result of it, right? And I don't make you feel bad as a result of it. Would you like to have your own show on my network channel? Let's go, blessings. Are we mutuals? Hit my inbox. Let's talk business. Hit my inbox. I don't talk business. That's one of my boundaries. I don't talk business on live. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk business. Confidence and arrogance. And we have to be very vitally careful, which is why I consciously and subconsciously even correct myself when I say my followers, because I've dwelled among people, right, at conferences, at meet and greets, that feel as though that they can disrespect others because of their social status, right? And if you truly understand life, Life does not work like that. You cannot just traverse this thing we call life thinking that you can treat people any old kind of way and that they're going to bend their back for you. Now, you may be in a position to whereby they have to listen to you if you're a manager, if you're a business owner. But I promise you, they're not doing it because they respect you. They're doing it because they don't want to lose their job. They're doing it because they don't want to be yelled at. And we have to retrain our thought process, right? I know many of you probably heard the phrase, give the janitor the same respect you give the CEO. Anytime I see public servants, I always give them that respect. In my neighborhood, when the municipal individuals, that's what I call them. Now I don't call them trash truck drivers. I feel like that's so demeaning. Or as my brother, shout out to brother Dr. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, who called them sanitation workers. I always make sure, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all have a great day. If I'm home when they come to pick my garbage up. Because they're public servants that just so happen to be sanitation workers, right? We got to retrain our minds and give everyone, right? Now, granted, let's be very clear about something. Respect is earned, not given. And if you do freely give it, you give it because you want to give it. Not because you're forced or not because someone told you that you have to. It's because you want to give it. And in our lives, we're far too used to respecting people to a fault, right? Allowing them to treat us any old kind of way. And then we revert back to sometimes the way in which we were raised, right? Because there's a cycle of acceptance that's passed down through each generation. And I no longer say that we have to break generational curses, right? I said we got to break the cycle. Because that's what it is. It's a cycle. There are certain things that are indicative of all communities. Toxicity. The weak nature of not allowing yourself to be powerful, to be vulnerable, right? I tell my my mentees that showing emotion does not make you weak. It's one of the greatest signs of strength that you will ever exhibit. I needed to be in this live. You're speaking. Hey, listen, somebody under the sound of my voice needs this. I promise you, as soon as I get off here, I'm posting this to YouTube. This is too powerful. We've gotten too comfortable. Hey, I'm going to give y'all another gem from Grandma. Grandma said, Grandma was an evangelist, right? And Grandma, Grandma said, I'm Christian, but you can get these hands, right? So she said, the Bible says, turn the other cheek. She said, well, I'm not all the way saved. Because if I'm going to turn the other cheek, it's me slapping the hell out of you in the first one. Because don't think for 1 minute that you're just going to disrespect me and I'm just supposed to accept it. Oh, Charmy, that's powerful. Pray with me. Don't play with me. Charmy, you're going to get a tag for that. I'm going to say that in the video. Pray with me. Don't play with me. Oh my God. That's powerful right there. That's powerful right there. I think we have the same grandma. Hey, rest in peace to Grandma Gladys, man. Rest in peace to Grandma Gladys. And one thing we don't realize is that our elders, they will sow seeds of wisdom in us, and it'll sit in the back of your mind that until you get ready, until you have the life experience that you need to have, right, you won't unlock it. It won't grow, right? Because you were not watering it. One of the things that my grandmother had us do is she was very into agriculture, right? She grew all her own food. We had a garden in our backyard. In the hood, we had a garden in our small rectangular piece of grass. She grew her own tomatoes. She grew her own vegetables. She grew her own fruit, right? And she would tell us, people can say what they want to say about you, but they can't take what's up here. Regardless of whether you get a formal education or an informal education, nobody can take what you possess up here. And for far too often, I used to wonder why she would have us watch these kung fu movies. And in them was always so much wisdom. And she taught us a level of focus that I'm now looking back on, that I realize now why she did what she did. What's the music in the background? It's Native American flute music. If you go on YouTube, it is Native American flute music and rain. The video is 10 hours long, and it's a video of the music in the background, and it's a creek, and it's just water rushing. The reason why she had us watch those movies, right? She had us watch them with the subtitles on. What does watching a movie with subtitles on force you to do? Focus. Focus. And if you missed it, if you looked away for just a second, you'll miss an entire plot. You'll miss an entire aspect of that movie that later on down the line, it won't make sense to you because you took your eyes off the prize. Again, let's take it back to the Bible. Jesus had one of his disciples go out on the water. And he said, keep your eyes on me. And the minute, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can fact check me on this. I believe it was Peter. He had him watch him. And he said, keep your eyes on me. Oh, you say you're the one that does miracles and everything like that. Keep your eyes on me. It's Peter? See, I told y'all, that's the grandma wisdom right there. The minute he took his eyes off Jesus, guess what happened? He started to sink because he lost focus. He took his eyes off the prize, right? We would watch these movies, and the minute we took our eyes off the screen, we would miss something. And we'd be like, oh, hey, why did this happen? And she would tell us, don't tell each other what happened. Because you need to learn that the minute you take your eyes, the minute you divert your focus off of what you want to accomplish, you're going to miss something. There's going to be an experience that you're going to miss. There's going to be a blessing that you're going to miss because you took your eyes off the prize. So it allows you, right? It allows you, hold on. You're talking about God, but didn't you bet money to fight a white man, then lost all that money? Did I bet money to fight a white man and then lose all that money? No. You must got somebody else. Or you're talking about the white man that challenged me to a fight, found out that I was 6 foot 250 and militarily trained, and stopped talking about fighting me? Is that the one you're talking about? Because what I'm not going to do is pay money to go to someone's state to fight them when that was never my intention in the first place, because he couldn't best me intellectually. You see, that right there was programming. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. We are trained, especially as black men, to respond with violence, right? Because to go and fight intellectually, many of us diminish our intelligence because either we were teased about it growing up, or someone told us, who are you to be as intelligent as you are? So the public perception that people have of you, well, most oftentimes, no, it's all good. Listen, I'm going to use that goofy as a teachable moment. I love it. I love it when they come on my live because they don't realize who they're talking to. I'm using them as a teachable moment. I mean, but you still bet it. I did not bet. And I did not lose no money, by the way, as well. I said to him, this is what I said to him. He said, I want to debate you, right? And afterwards, I want to box you. I said, okay. I'll whoop your ass intellectually, and then we can step in that ring and I'll do it again. He asked me via DMs on Instagram, which if you go back in my videos, you'll see. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? I'm 6 foot 250, militarily trained. I ain't heard nothing from him since. Again, I don't profess myself to be no type of tough guy. Why? For what? I know what my capabilities are. And if, in fact, I deem it necessary, I didn't buy this Glock for no reason. Because bullets ain't cheap. Let's be very clear. I'm not threatening anybody. You get what I'm saying? Give me a second. I'm just saying you talking about God, but the fight got canceled and didn't get a refund for the fight. No one ever put any money up. And I'm not Christian. I'm spiritual. I believe in God, absolutely. But I'm not Christian. Let's be very clear about that. So maybe you got like a misconstrued understanding of who I am, right? But I'm not Christian. This is an ankh, not a cross. And that's not to say anything. You can practice whatever you want to practice. That's cool. Try Jesus, not me, because I throw hands. Again, I know my capabilities. I never bet no money. Why was about to, what's up, Cass? Why was I about to lose money because you decided you want to get in your feelings because you can't best me intellectually? Steel Walker, that's his name. I'm not scared of that man. And he shouldn't be scared of me. Go on my YouTube and check out our debate. If I'm not mistaken, we debated on the existence of white privilege, if I'm not mistaken. And I whooped his ass in that debate. Dog walked him. And he was in his feelings about it. Don't let this entity stop your flow. Oh, they not. I told you I'm using them as a teachable opportunity, right? I'm using him as a teachable opportunity. He was in his truck. Exactly. Yes, Jess. He was in his truck. And this right here, right? And someone said, don't let him lose. Don't let him allow you to lose focus. Here's the deal. There are going to be times, again, this is such a teachable opportunity, and they don't realize how much of a teachable opportunity this is, right? While you sought to try to take me off of my kilter, right? I've allowed you to become a teachable opportunity. Because we're taught, especially not just as black men, but as men, to respond with violence. Because when we see another brother, right, especially one that's challenging us, we internalize it. So now, if we can't best them intellectually, right, now our feelings are hurt. Now our feelings are hurt. So we feel like we have to get back that power that we felt as though we lost. Ooh, it's so indicative of life. We feel like we got to get back that power. So what do we resort to? Our physical capabilities. Like I said, I don't profess myself to be no type of tough guy. I know that there are people out there that can whoop my ass. But I also know that you better have a shwammy on you, because I'm going to have mine on me. Now, if you want to box like men, we can box like men. That's cool. But if you think you just finna run up on me, because it went from, let me show you again how much of a teachable opportunity this became. You went from, hey, I want to debate you, and then I want to box you. I said, okay. I mean, you a black man talking about God, but betted to fight, and it got canceled. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and I want you to do me a favor. I want you to get your hamburgers and get your hot dogs for the block party. Bam. Because I never bet anybody. You're just regurgitating the same thing over and over again because you want attention. So let me get back to what I was saying. He went from, and I'm going to show you the levels, right? I'm going to show you the levels. He went from, let me debate you and then box you, to, oh, you in the military. Oh, we might as well take this fight to the streets. You see, a boxing match and a street fight don't have the same rules. I grew up in North Philadelphia, born and raised. I don't glorify the hood, right? Because it's not something to glorify, but I go back to my hood and I give back. I go back to my hood and I mentor. I go back to my hood and I tell those brothers and I tell those sisters that you can be more than your environment, right? So then you go from a street fight to, well, I'm just going to pull up to wherever you are, turn my camera on and embarrass you. I'm going to run up on you and embarrass you. And my response to that now becomes, if you run up on me in public and think you just finna do something to me, somebody else is going to be raising your kids. Because if I miss the first time, I promise you I'm not going to miss the second time. I'm an expert with that Glock. Again, I don't profess myself to be no type of tough guy. But I'm not about to sit here and engage you and you think you finna pull up on me, and in a professional environment, these bullets ain't cheap. And I'm not going to feel bad about it at all. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep on giving my speech. Y'all remember the movie American Gangster, where he said, in this life, you're either somebody or nobody? And he went outside and smoked that fool and went back in the restaurant and sat down and continued saying what he was saying. We've allowed ourselves to get too comfortable allowing people to just disrespect us. You want to box? Let's box. Let's do it. I accept it, right? And then you say, oh, let's take it to the street. Okay. You see, in the street, I don't have the same limitations as in that boxing ring. You see, in that boxing ring, you got boxing gloves. Out in that street, you got your hands in your environment. And then you talk about running up on me in public, meaning if I'm in a street fight and I see you in front of me, I see you coming towards me, I have preparation. If I don't see you coming toward me and you think you just finna run up on me, you might get a good lick in. But I promise you, you better be wearing a vest or you better have a shwammy on you. Because I'm going to put some hot shit in you. And again, this is no threat. This is no threat. This is a promise. This goes right into what we're talking about blackfidence. Stop being comfortable allowing people to disrespect you and think that there are no consequences to said action. Right? So in this, I can say, you know what? Let me fall back. Let me chill. How is that contradicting messaging? Let's talk about it. How is that contradicting messaging? I just showed you levels. Controlled environment, uncontrolled environment, surprising environment. The rules aren't the same for either one of them. How is that a contradicting message? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I know you are limited to your actually, I'll do you one better. I'm going to turn on guest requests. I want you to come up here and say it to my face. You said contradicting messaging, but you're now saying you're on my side. Come up here and I want you to explain yourself. It's not a contradiction. It's called levels. It's called levels. Now we got guest requests. You ain't got to go do a live. We got guest requests. Come on up here and tell me to my face why my message is contradicting. You would love to, but you in a meeting? Okay. I'll accept that for now. Because you see, that pressure hit different when you got to come live and talk to me. That pressure hit different when you got to substantiate your claim. Oh, no. Don't say we can, though, with you in a little meeting. Step out. You got 5 minutes. Step out. You in a meeting, but yet you on my live. Make that make sense. You got enough wherewithal to listen to me in your meeting, which means you're not paying attention to your meeting already. I digress. Let me get back on kilter to this message to the community. Let me get back on kilter to the message to the community. Which again, let's turn this into a teachable moment. People will say things, and then when they're challenged, they have nothing but excuses. Because again, we have to allow ourselves, right, to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That person could literally come up here and teach me something. That person can literally come up here, right, and change my thought process. But they got excuses. You know, when I was going through my process to become an alpha, one of the things they teach us in the Divine Nine is this statement about excuses. Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothingness, and those that delight in them seldom amount to nothing. So when we engage, right, we have to understand, right, that not everyone is going to think the way that we think. Not everyone is going to move the way that we move, right? So sometimes we gotta, I see you, I peep. Repeat that, please. Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothingness, and those who delight in them seldom amount to anything. You see, anybody can bring criticisms forward, but can you substantiate your claim? Can you substantiate your claim? Oh, you need it one more time? Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothingness, and those who delight in them seldom amount to anything. I see I got some D9 in here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I see we got some D9 in here. Make it be known. What's your org? Shout your org. Shout your org. Let's go. D9 in the building. Shout your org. Who we got in here? I know we got some Greeks in here because y'all was way too quick to say yes, yes. Zeta, okay. Hold on. D9 always get a follow. Bam. Who else? Fall 99. Oh, we got a noob. Okay. Okay, who else we got? Oh, we got another Zeta. Let's get it. Oh, we dropping follows today, baby. Who else we got in here? AKA, let's get it. Alpha, Kappa, Alpha. Let's get it. Who else we got in here? Who else we got in here? Let's go. Oh, listen. Wherever I am, I know I got a brother there. What up, Fred? What is D9? D9 is the divine nine. Oh, what up, butter? D9 is the divine nine. They're the historically black fraternities and sororities. I was educated.
I can hear you from upstairs.
Are the kids awake?
Cairo was up.
Oh, sorry. I love you.
It is 5:37 of flipping morning.
Okay, I'm sorry, honey. I thought because the door was closed, that was good.
No, Negro, you were loud.
Okay.
Jesus.
I just got in trouble. He said I was educated. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I'm weak as hell. Look, hey. Y'all ever see Sister Act? Molly, you in danger, girl. Hey, peep this. So I'm going to end this live, right? That way I can save this because I want to post all of this and I don't want to add anything extra to this, so I can post it to my YouTube channel. And then I'm going to come back live immediately. So I'm going to shut this down and then I'm going to come back live. Y'all come back.